We live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us on the internet. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever.
They did it. The Trump administration managed to convince the Romanian government to allow Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan to travel to the United States, to Florida specifically, despite the fact that they are facing charges of human trafficking, including the trafficking and SA of a minor. Trump's Justice Department fought hard so that they could come here. And this was a surprise to a few people, including apparently the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, who when asked about it said this.
I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.
That was actually a really good response. I like that. I wish he'd had that same energy when Nazis were running amok in Florida instead of just going, oh, the Democrats are trying to make me look bad. He could have taken this response verbatim and it would have worked. We're looking into what we can do about it, but they're not welcome here. Really not that hard. But why would Trump's administration petition Romania on their behalf? Yesterday, Donald Trump was asked about it. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I know nothing about that. Well, maybe this had something to do with it. One of Tate's lawyers, Paul Ingracia, now works as White House liaison to the U.S. Justice Department. And there's a ton of sources, even before they got on that plane, that were like, no, they're working hard to get Romania to let them to come here. So what's worse? Donald Trump does know, and he's like, yeah, bring them over here. Or he's clueless about what his own Department of Justice is doing. That his administration just does things that he has no idea what they're doing. Stuff like this. Now, the accusations are really bad, but there are going to be those who are like innocent until proven guilty. Sure, let's just look at who Andrew Tate is. If you're not familiar with him, I'm going to give you a quick crash course, and this is your trigger warning because he does horrible stuff. This is how he thinks you should interact with women.
I guarantee I changed the way you look at sex forever. You're going to be fucking crying. I won't cry. I bet you cry, bitch. I don't even have to fuck you. Forget the sex part. That's a distraction. My dick can stay in my pants. I'll just start beating the shit out of you. How about that? We walk in the bedroom. I start kicking your ass.
When I grab you by your neck and you start annoying me, trying to resist, and I just, and then I grab you by your neck again. Then what the fuck are you gonna do when your face is collapsed and your fucking cheekbone's broken? You ain't gonna do shit but cry.
Then there's his number one cam girl, who's also one of his biggest advocates and supporters, as well as like kind of slash girlfriend, and the timeline of their relationship.
I had lived with Andrew for years and years.
So Vivian's been with me 6 years.
So he's been with Vivian for 6 years, right?
Vivian's like 21.
Vivian's 21. And at this point, he's been a girlfriend for 6 years.
Vivian's younger.
It means that they met when she was 15 years old.
But despite all that, Republicans love this guy.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice
Big
to meet
fan.
you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
That's right-wing talk show host Benny Johnson having him as a guest on his show. The other guest was Alina Habba, Donald Trump's former attorney, telling him what a big fan she is. Perhaps she likes the whole crush her face in thing. But that's older. Let's talk about something more recent. Yesterday, Tampa Bay Young Republicans made a whole ass graphic. Went into Photoshop and built this to welcome them to Florida. Said welcome to both of them. They, of course, stand for free speech. The Tates haven't been formally convicted of any crimes and are welcome to speak to our group. We're old enough to remember when a convicted felon won the presidency, hashtag free state. Hilarious. They want them to come speak to their group. What might their speech to the young Republicans sound like?
The Jews did it. The Jews did it. Like human trafficking and the Jews did it.
Yeah. Keir Starmer is a
He's a as well. Yeah, he's a super
He's a super
human trafficking.
Yeah. That's what I do.
The Tampa Bay Young Republicans, ladies and gentlemen. But why do Republicans like him? Because he has a huge following of toxic little boys who want to be men. One comedian said he's like a 13-year-old's idea of what a man is. They follow him. They do as they're told. And for the Republicans, it's not a deal breaker that he's charged with human trafficking, including of a minor. It's not a deal breaker that he talks about violently assaulting women. It's not a deal breaker that looks like he groomed his girlfriend. It's not a deal breaker that he used racial and homophobic slurs. If he can help them win, they love the guy.